Hello everybody, it's Preston here, Citizen Response. Today we're going to be taking a look at this bad boy right here. This is my 10.5 inch, I would call this my Shtf, whatever acronym you want to use, rifle. It's my primary home defense gun. It is my primary preservation of my life, of my friends and family's life gun. Now what we're going to do is go through and talk about a little bit of the philosophy as to why I built this the way I did, and some of the parts that I have on here, some of the parts choices, and kind of just a little bit of background and story about this gun. So sit back, enjoy the video. I hope you learn a little bit and have a good time. All right, so now we're just gonna do it Garand thumb style. We're gonna start tip to butt. I've had this gun for a little over 2 years now. Worked all summer to be able to afford to buy this gun, because I had a 16-inch rifle that was my dedicated primary hunting rifle, and I liked it. But you know, I'm a smaller statured guy. I'm about 5'7", and it's just a little bit long. And I always knew that I wanted a suppressor, and I knew I wanted to suppress my fighting rifle, so I went with something shorter. This is a 10.5 inch ballistic advantage barrel. I have, you know, probably 5,000-6,000 rounds through it right now. It's been great. Shoot sub MOA out of this 10.5 inch barrel. I don't really do a lot of paper shooting in that regard, so I haven't actually done that in a few years. I mostly do, you know, competition style or tactical style shooting, so I'm not trying to print super tight groups with this gun. I can if I want to though. What we got right here, this is actually a Yankee Hill Machine flash hider for my suppressor that is currently in jail. So it actually looks really cool. I'm really happy about the way it looks. I didn't really like how it looked with the A2 and just right with the quad rail we got here. I actually really like the way this looks, so that was pretty awesome. What we got up here is a Daniel Defense fixed front sight post. I like the fixed front sight post because if I come up and my white light washes out my dot, or for some reason I come up, it's a really quick reference point. I know if I hold a little bit above where that iron sight is in relation to the aim point, then I'm gonna make hits basically within a vital zone area, probably within 5 to 7 yards. So I really like the fixed front sight post. And then what we got right here, Surefire G2X Max Vision. This is the 800 lumen model. It's got a little bit wider field of view, so it's not as narrow of a beam. I'm actually okay with that. I didn't know how I felt about it at first, but the other night I was actually searching for a pig that we shot with this gun, and it was really nice having that super wide beam for searching purposes. And it's also like, since this is my home defense gun as well, I actually really like it, so I've come to enjoy this light. Now this light may not be for you if you're trying to use this gun for long range spotting. That light is probably not for you. What we got here, it's not a vertical grip, it's just a hand grip, whatever you want to call it. I don't really care at this point. I really like it because if you've ever held these guns up for an extended period of time doing the C-clamp shoulder thing, really cool for about 5 minutes, and then I don't know about you, but my shoulder gets a little fried, gets a little tired. So I really like being able to still get a positive grip. I'm not holding it like this, I'm using it as a positive grip, and then I can apply some leverage here with my thumb. It also consistently puts my thumb in the right place to be able to activate my light. So I really like that. I got it set up that way. I don't really care. The laws and everything seem to change every single day, so I just kind of run what I want to run. I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so what we got here, Midwest Industries quad rail. I actually got this rifle built for me by my friend's Black Label Armory down where I'm from, and this is the upper that they sold me, and everything has been awesome. I love this quad rail. I think if you're gonna get a 10.5 quad rail is the way to go, just because it looks sick. Yeah, you're gonna add some extra weight, but dude, it's a freaking 10.5, who cares? This gun is already not extremely heavy compared to most hunting rifles, or most, well, I say hunting rifles, a lot of those like lightweight bolt action rifles are really light. I'm talking like an AR-10, 308, semi-auto, 6.5 Creedmoor, something like that. Those are heavy. This gun, you know, is not heavy. It's definitely doable. I can carry it all day, no problem. So moving back a little bit, what we got here on top is the Aimpoint Pro. You know, I'm a college student, so I don't have, you know, $600-700 to drop on a T2, which I would like, but I actually love this Aimpoint Pro, and I'm not sure I would switch it out for a T2 even if I had the money, because I could put that money somewhere else. I love this optic. I got it for $375 used, and I actually don't mind the mount it comes with. I would like to put like a LaRue Tactical or something mount on there, But for right now, it's just not worth the money. It returns to 0 with 3 clicks, so I can take it on and off if I want to, which I might, because I have a night vision scope I might be throwing on this at some point. So it's really nice to be able to take this on and off. It's obviously great for up close and personal shooting, but I have shot it out to 300 yards with just the red dot without the magnifier. I just put the magnifier on like last week. So this is a capable, very capable platform. Now, I didn't build this gun to shoot that far. I built this gun as a, you know, someone's breaking into my house, or something is on, you know, some kind of riots or something. Essentially, this is a 50 yards and in gun. Realistically, in any kind of realistic scenario, you're not shooting someone past 50 yards, because then it's not self-defense. And they're unless you can ID the target and they're pointing a rifle at you from that far, maybe. I don't want to get into the scenarios or the hypotheticals, but I'm really not planning on shooting this past 50 yards. Now, you might ask, well, why do you have the magnifier on it then? The magnifier, if you were just building this as a home defense gun, you don't need this at all. You're just adding extra weight you don't need. But this is a multi-purpose rifle for me. I use this hog hunting for I have a night vision scope on my other rifle, but I have a green light that I put on here. And so I use this for hog hunting. It is really nice to be able to flip that over and get that extra magnification if you want to. It's a nice option. Definitely makes shooting past 200 yards much easier, getting on target quickly. I still need a lot of practice with it because it's very different using this than just using the red dot. But it makes it significantly easier having an extra 3 power behind that red dot. So still playing around with this. I think it's really cool. I like it. What we got loaded up, yes, this is loaded. We got some green tips in here. Why not? They're armor piercing. Who cares? They look cool. These are just Brownells magazines. It's not really part of the gun, but it's what I have in the gun. I got these before the 2016 election. I think maybe they were $8 a piece, and I beat the crap out of them, and they still work fine. So what we got in here, I'm not going to press it because this gun is loaded, is a Geisley trigger. Geisley super dynamic 3-gun trigger. I love it. I've had a decent amount of triggers, tried some different triggers, and this is my favorite. Now, if I were starting all over, I would probably get the LaRue Tactical series of triggers now. I've got that one in my other hunting AR. I mean, they're 80 bucks. This is like a $250 trigger. You know, for the price, the money you save, it's really hard for me to not recommend those LaRue Tactical triggers now. So if you're really trying to save a little bit of money, maybe put that money into the optic or something like that, but you don't want a garbage mil-spec trigger, go with the LaRue Tactical. I mean, they're freaking awesome. LaRue Tactical is a great company, but I do love this Geisley. If you're willing to shell out the money, I think this is one of the best triggers on the market, is the super dynamic 3-gun. It's not quite a single stage, and it's definitely not a 2-stage. It's got a minimal tiny amount of creep, and then it breaks. And I've compared it to the Geisley single stage and the Geisley 2-stage, and I think this is the best of the 3. I absolutely love it. This is just a Magpul K grip. I think it's a little bit higher angle. It's not as sharp. I hate the A2 grip, especially because I run my stock. I run my pistol brace kind of close. I don't like having it super far out. I run mine 2 from the back because I like keeping the gun really tight up close to me, and I pin my elbow down so I can pull it off. And that's another reason I like having this grip up here, because it really helps me keep that gun cinched. Just the way I like to run it. You know, you may do it completely differently. I have lots of friends that run their brace or stock, whatever you want to call it, all the way out. That's cool. That's just how I like to run it. What we got here, Magpul Mbus Pro. So this is the metal one, and I love this. I don't like having plastic sights on my gun. I just don't want them to break. These things are bomb-proof, and they're really minimal. Sit right there. Awesome. I've actually shot these out to about 400 yards. It gets hard whenever your front sight post is bigger than the target, but they're doable. For anything you need, if you're just getting started and you have a fixed budget, I would get a good set of irons first. This whole set will run you probably around 150, 160 for the front Daniel Defense fixed front and the Magpul Mbus rear. I had that on this gun for months before I was able to save up enough money to buy the aim point, and that's all I ran, and it'll do you fine. It's a little bit slower, but learn to shoot with irons, because why not? It's cool, it's fun. Radiant Raptor charging handle, I think this is a non-negotiable. The ease of it gives you with weapon manipulation, with malfunction clearance, I don't know why ARs don't come with these standard. I think every manufacturer should just put them in and charge more, because being able to get the 2-finger grip when you're ripping a malfunction, being able to lock the bolt and use this, it's just, if you don't have one of these, sell your kidney or something, you know, get 60 grand from your kidney and spend 60 bucks on this. They're just freaking amazing. Everything else is stock bolt catch, completely stock bolt catch from Noveske. This is a Noveske lower. And then a stock magazine release. I don't really need anything fancy. I don't run a bad lever. I don't like having anything else on the trigger guard other than trigger. That's just my personal opinion. Aero precision upper with a Daniel Defense bolt inside. Like I said, I'm not unloading this gun because I don't care. And so the bolt Daniel Defense, it's great to go, beat the crap out of it. Gone a few thousand rounds without cleaning it. Clean it every once in a while. Aero precision upper, Noveske lower. I just got it in a trade with the Geisley ST3G, so I don't really care. Is it the perfect fit? No, there's a little bit of wiggle, but I don't have any problems. I can shoot out to 400 or 500 yards with this tiny little gun. Haven't had any issues. Going back, castle nut, obviously, stock buffer tube. We got the SBA3 with some cool stickers on it because life's short, have a little fun. And then the final piece to talk about is we got the sling. This is a Blue Force Gear Vickers sling. I really like that I can throw this over my body, keep it loose for when I'm keeping it over my neck, running so it's not tight, but then all I have to do is come here, tighten it up, throw it around, and now I have this gun nice and close to my body. And I use slings all the time because, like I said, I'm a hunter, and I like having my gun with me because when I shoot a pig or a deer and they don't go down immediately on the spot, I have to go in the woods and go look for them. And so it's really nice to be able to cinch that gun around, throw it on your back, and not have to worry about dropping it on the ground or anything. Now, I've beat the crap out of this gun. I've thrown it, unintentionally thrown it on the ground, dropped it in the mud, never had any issues. So get yourself a good sling. It's worth the money, and especially having the adjustability is huge, especially in the context of an Shtf rifle. You have to have a good sling, especially one that you can run and jump over fences with. If you can't jump and climb over a fence with all your gear on, that's something to try. Throw your chest rig on, throw your pistol on, throw your sling on, and go see if you can go jump over your fence. If you can't do it, A, it's your gear, or B, it's your fitness, or maybe both. Don't let it be both. Just get strong enough and get good gear so you can do that, so you can be mobile, hopping in and out of trucks, all that fun stuff. So now that we've gone over the total parts list, everything I've got into this gun, I guess we'll talk a little bit about the philosophy I mentioned earlier. I like the short barrel. It's still very lethal up close, 10.5 inch. It's still pushing around, I guess, 23 to 2,400 feet per second. You know, honestly, I'm not worried about too much about the long range ballistics because I'm not taking 300-400 yard shots with this gun in any realistic situation. Not happening. So I like having a little bit more compact, just for ease of use. Why not? And it looks cool. Looking cool is half the battle, as we all know. Sick paint job done by me with just rattle can, black and tan, using a little bit of laundry net to get at, and it looks dope. The more you wear it, the cooler it looks. So go ahead and spray paint your guns because it's freaking awesome. I chose to go with a red dot over an LVPO because for me, if you're running this as a competition gun, like a 3-gun weapon, put a LVPO on it. But that's not what this is for. Can I do that with this? 100%. But you have to make sacrifices and make trades. And I think the ability to shoot both eyes open is just, I mean, I know you can shoot both eyes open with an LVPO, but don't come on here and say it's just as easy. It's not. It's not nearly as easy shooting in unconventional positions, both eyes open with an LVPO than it is with a red dot. I mean, I can shoot at really weird low angles, no problem with this. With the scope, it's not the same thing. I also love the level of durability that I get with this optic. I mean, you can see all the scratches on all the bumps and everything worn off because this truck has flown off, optic has flown off my truck. I've dropped it on hard surfaces unintentionally. I don't mean to, but that's why I have to get quality stuff because that's just how I am. I throw my guns around in my truck and I don't always put them in my bag. And if you're gonna be that kind of person that's always gonna baby your guns, and you don't need to spend that much money on this kind of optic. but I'm honest with myself. I know myself, and that's just how it is. So there's a little bit of philosophy as to why I have it set up the way I do. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. My Instagram is @citizenresponse. I'm always active over there, having a good time, hanging out with the homies, shooting, training, answering questions, all that kind of stuff. So connect with me there if you have any questions about this. I guess all in all, this build with everything I've got into it, I haven't really priced it out in a while. I would say it's probably around the 1700-ish mark, and that's with all the doodads and the gadgets, with just the iron sights, the light, no red dot, none of that. You're probably looking at somewhere around 1200 for a setup like this, and that's with really good quality parts. Don't skimp on the parts, especially the upper internals. Don't skip on the upper internals. I forgot to mention completely stock lower internals from Noveski. So don't skimp on the parts. Make sure you save up and get yourself something high quality, because your life literally could depend on this someday. Hopefully not, but better to have that peace of mind and not need it, and spend a little bit more money up front and have something that you can pass down to your children someday. All right, folks. Well, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that maybe you learned something, or maybe you saw something on here. They're like, wow, that's cool. I want to put that on my gun. That's awesome. That's what I do these for, just having a good time, sharing information. So I always, if you know me, I give a little spiel at the end of all of my videos, pleading that if you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ, if you haven't gone to church in a while, or you're not sure about the existence of God, I've been there, man. Like, I did not always believe in God my whole life. I'm very much a thinker. I like to think things through logically, and around a study and praying and people praying for me, God saved me. And so, man, if you're at a place in your life, and not every day is promised, life is short, it's fleeting. We're here and then we're gone. You get one opportunity while we're here on this earth to be saved. So just crack open your Bible, start reading through John, or go to church and get plugged in with someone at church. They can answer your questions. And if they can't answer your questions, hit me up on Instagram @citizenresponse. I talk to people about theology and questions about faith and religion all the time. It's one of my favorite things about having the account. So, all right, guys, like I say at the end, get out there, train hard, stay safe.